Welcome. Thanks for joining me for Pathfinder Kingmaker. We just traveled home from the Flint Rock grassland and we're ready to enter our throne room. I have a feeling there's going to be visitors here. We shall see. Linzi is here. Imagine that, king. That's right. We are now king. Or we soon shall be. You know, I always believed in you. You keep it up and who knows, in a couple years you might even become an emperor. You think? But that Armag, he and those creepy sisters barely managed to find the tomb. How are we going to find it? I mean, I suppose I have a bit of an idea, but I'm not sure. What do you mean how? The same way we always do. We pack our things and go find it. The tomb's well hidden. Over the centuries, no one but Armag has found it, and it took him forever. If we go wandering around without a clue, we could still be looking till the end of time. Before we go, we need some leads. We could ask the Tiger Lords. Sorry, but that's a dead end. I already chatted them up a bit, and they know about the same as we do. The tomb is somewhere in Glenbon Uplands, and Glenbon is, well, you know, big. Like, really big. I have scouts we can send to the Glenbon Uplands. They can scour out the location for us. Seriously? You have your own scouts? Well, I don't know why I'm so surprised. You're soon to be king. Fine then, let them search. What's this idea of yours? Go ahead and share, it can't hurt. We're not the first to live in these lands. Countless other people were here before us. Maybe they knew something about the tomb. If we could find some archives from previous inhabitants of the stolen lands, like the dwarves maybe. Truth be told, I don't really know where to look for them, but these lands are swarming with ruins. There must be an archive or two left somewhere. I mean, maybe, hopefully. Okay. Let's do it then. Let's find the tomb. We have to hurry, and who knows what Armag might do, given enough time there. Another time-sensitive issue. Wonderful. And Keston. Your Grace, a decision has to be made regarding the Bulettes that inhabit one of your regions. The guard and a local hunting club seek them out and kill them as they should, but the scholarly community of the barony has objected to this. Some zoologist has declared that these Bulettes are a rare species or subspecies. Long story short, they only live around these parts and nowhere else. Your Grace, the scholars ask that we take these lands under our protection and outlaw the killing of these Bulettes. However, I firmly believe that the beasts should be eradicated. The safety of local peasants outweighs other concerns. So we can get a worse unrest state worsens. We want to live in harmony with nature, or we get some community, lose some relations, and get some stability. I am not down for worse unrest. Such beasts have no place in my lands. They must be eradicated. Keston gives a short nod. The guard will hunt them down. Any who volunteer to help will be rewarded. So we have a rank up now for him. Okay. So we need to find the tomb, and there appears to be some urgency to that. We have so many things on our list. It's a little bit overwhelming. A lot of them are companion quests, but I don't want to ignore those. We took care of Reg and Octavia recently, but we've got other people with issues as well. The one that I think maybe we should take care of soon is the problem with Valerie, and I don't think we have to go anywhere for that. We just need to talk to some people, so maybe we will do that first. I will check in at our table and see what we need to do there. Actually, after we rest, we will do that. Okay, we rested up, and now it is table time. We failed with the Black Ravine. Disaster with the paper people. The treasurer refused to continue negotiations with the ambassador, calling his terms unachievable. Lost some relations there. Another disaster. Curator's lavish promises had no effect on the proud Timons. Once the crowd realized they will not be seeing their idols in the arena, stones and balls of mud flew at the fighters, who hid themselves in the pits, refusing to fight before the unruly crowd. Triumph with the Master of Pain. The warden identified the priestess as a criminal who was being hunted by half the river kingdoms. She was arrested and publicly prosecuted. The subjects praised the warden's vigilance. Very well. Okay, we talked to Linzi, and we spoke with the warden. And we trained up Lebeda, who is now dead. He's not going to make a very good regent anymore. Maybe first we should look at that. Who is our current regent? Is that Valerie now? Well, Valerie, it looks like you have gone from an interim regent to full-time. There you go. Let's see. What about... Are we good? Otherwise, we've got our mercenary here in the counselor slot, but I don't think we have anybody else to do that. So who are the other possible counselors besides Tristan? And like, is it only the other, like, Castle is one, but he leaves too, doesn't he, after a while? And then or the Sertova lady that we can bring up with us from the beginning. Otherwise we don't have anybody for that. Okay, we have a couple of problems to work on. Rats everywhere. The capital is swarming with rats. Rumors describe creatures the size of dogs and hunched figures roaming the catacombs. What is the reason behind this invasion? The situation must be taken under control before the capital granaries are emptied and plague sweeps the streets. Canera is on that one. And Truth of the Blade. A famous local priest of Caden is urging our subjects to settle their disputes through duels rather than court. Our youth are zealously following the dwarf's teachings. Justice and order in the region are under threat, and it is time to intervene. Jod is on that one. Our chance on that is pretty low, but I'm not going to use a crisis point. Okay, we have a couple of projects we're going to start up. We have this one, Lander's Last Gift. Lander Lebeda, the unfortunate little traitor, planted spies in your realm. We should find them or suffer the consequences of their plots. With spies in the barony, all events that could be solved by the Grand Diplomat or Minister. Roll 2 checks with a penalty of -2 and pick the worst result. So we're going to spend 150 BP to start that up with Jaethal. And then we've got find any hint on the location of Armag's tomb. Send your best scouts to search for the Armag's tomb. It's a difficult task. The barbarians have already been searching for months, but we can pick up their trail and catch up with them. We'll put Keston on that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and rank up our culture here with the storyteller. Everybody else is pretty busy, but he is available, so we're going to do this. Spend 14 days to take care of that. That is done. Culture reached rank 2. We'll have a lot of other things here that finish up. Jubilost seems more caustic than usual. Okay, we running out of time for him. Disaster with the trail of daring Lorik. The general failed to come to an agreement with the adventurers. They didn't like the regimen and combat rules of the army's volunteers. The expedition set off without the general's support. Failure with a high society wedding. The regent gave permission for the ceremony to be held, but refused to participate in the wedding preparations. And failure with troubled minds. The counselor failed to persuade the troublemakers to end their mischief. They continue showing disrespect and inciting others. That's not good. Valerie seems anxious. Okay, I was afraid of that. Knock Knock seems more twitchy than usual. Oh boy. Okay, disaster with the Truth of the Blade. Lots of failures here. disaster with the rats. We're starting to have trouble. I'm probably going to have to start spending those crisis points. Unless we can get people ranked up more. We do have rank ups that look at that deck of projects. That's getting kind of ridiculous. All right, let me look at these. Okay, we have Kellid Scouts. We're putting Ragongar on that. And I just really, it's almost a 50% chance. We're just going to go with that. I'm not going to spend crisis point there. Then Justice of the Crowd. A crowd of enraged peasants trying to lynch a young Aasimar girl. The people feel certain that she casts hexes and steals children, though there is no real proof of this. Valerie is on that, 61%. Then River Tricksters. Nixies and Nereids have come to live in one of the rivers of the barony. They claim these waters belong to them and have started sinking all the boats and ships that pass by. Canera is on that. And then we have Opportunity for hunting season. Royal Elk was spotted in the forest. Jod is going to help with that. And now, I think since we have people, companions, who are starting to really complain about needing help, I'm going to take one more look here at any projects we can start up that don't take immediate time. Okay, we do have a free advisor here for this project. Love of the People. Cost of buildings with a static loyalty bonus is reduced by 10%. So we will put Bruin on that. And I think that is all we're going to be able to do at this time. I don't like putting off these rank ups, but I don't think we can afford to pass any more time until we deal with some of these companions. Bakken is here with Potion of Protection from Arrows, Potion of Eagles, Splendor, Protection from Fire. I think what we'll do first is talk to the people about Valerie, because I don't think that requires us to go anywhere, if I recall. Storyteller. The captain of the guard told me you had a fight with Valerie. The storyteller lowers his head sorrowfully. Alas, this is true. Believe me, I didn't want to fight, but my fool curiosity wounded Valerie's pride. I will apologize to her the first chance I get. What was the fight about? I asked Valerie if she still had anything related to the Eternal Rose Order from back when she was a novice. An innocent question, but she took it as impudence or insult. Please don't blame her. I'm to blame for what happened. Do you think Valerie has been acting strange lately? What can I say? We are not that close. She has no interest in the things that matter to me, and I prefer the world of ancient heroes and old legends, not the fuss that's all around us here and now. So I don't have an answer to your question. But I know that those who consider Valerie a close companion might be hurt by her words. Yesterday I talked to Linzi, and when I mentioned Valerie, I heard sorrow and tears in her voice. Maybe the tireless chronicler is having a tough time for the very same reason that you honored me with your visit today. Okay. It looks like we do have the shards we need for something. He found this one artifact that would have been best left in the darkness of its past. These scraps you have brought are from the Cloak of Souled Souls. Its story is dark and terrifying. All this item offers its owner is suffering. If you really want, I can restore it for you, but only as a warning to those who might dream of making deals with the powers of Abaddon. Okay, can you do it? Okay, here. Restore the Cloak of Souled Souls for me. The storyteller places scraps of leather covered with unrecognizable inscriptions before him. The story you want to learn is truly terrible. Even more terrible could be the destiny of any person who dares wear this cloak. But as you wish, I will impart a remnant of my gift into this cloak, so it will be able to recount to you the crimes of its creator. Interesting. Those were from the ancient scraps of script-covered leather. Cloak of Souled Souls. This cloak inflicts a -4 penalty to the wearer's constitution score. It adds +2 to the wearer's caster level when they cast a necromancy, school, or summoning subtype spell for the purpose of calculating all level variable effects of that spell. Also grants +2 bonus to necromancy, school spells DC. Grants the ability to cast vampiric touch spell. Unequipping this cloak is only possible after casting a remove curse spell on the wearer and passing a DC 25 caster level check. Failing this check kills the wearer immediately and summons a hostile Thana Daemon. If the wearer has reached the 20th level, it summons a hostile Astra Daemon instead. Alright, I'm not sure we'll have anybody willing to wear that cloak. We need to find Linzi. Did it say she's in the tavern? I think it did. We'll head there. Okay, I did not need to run to the tavern. I could have just talked to Linzi right here. Just a moment, I just got something. Hi. Have you noticed anything strange about Valerie lately? Linzi lingers, then sighs dully. I had a fight with her, a big one. Well, I wanted to talk to her about the best way to describe her hair color in the book, and she said my book is trash, and I'd be no better if I busied my time with... Ugh, I won't even repeat it. Oh. Kane. I completely agree with her. That's how everyone is. While the author is working on the chronicle, everyone is happy to heap insults on them. But then, when your names are glorified through the ages, who do you think you'll be thanking? To be honest, Valerie hasn't been herself lately. She's usually polite, though she can be cold at times. But now it's like she's changed. And it's all after, you know, after she got that scar. I talked to her before, and she wasn't very nice that time either. She's gotten so spiteful after she got hurt, though she keeps saying she doesn't care. Okay. Probably need to talk to Valerie. Yeah, she's right over here, isn't she? Yeah. Valerie, we need to talk. You've been acting strange lately. If you're going to bring up that scene in the throne room, don't waste your breath. Evald completely deserved that speech. Captain of the Guard said you were taking it out on random people. Valerie narrows her eyes. So the Captain of the Guard thinks I'm incapable of carrying out my duties to you and your subjects? Perhaps he should change his armor for a judge's mantle, if he's so ready to declare such verdicts. I know you had a fight with the storyteller, and you yelled at Linzi. The storyteller? What business of his if I have anything left from the order? Does he imagine I'm still carrying around Shaylin's radiant face as a souvenir? And as for Linzi, she knows full well how her constant babbling about her book irritates me. Why did you think that pasquinade next to the tavern entrance was about you? Who else could it have been about? That scribbler used to never leave me alone, dogged my heels asking questions whenever I appeared on the street, and now... I don't care what excuses you come up with. Get a handle on yourself, or you're going back to Brevoy. Valerie shakes her head angrily. So you attack me over someone else's complaints. Well, I shall limit my communications with the others if you're so bothered by it. Yeah, I really hope Kane doesn't piss off anybody else so much that they just leave. It's a pity we couldn't get rid of the scar. Valerie rubs her scar with her fingertips. Does it prevent me from serving you or make me worse in battle? There's only change to get used to. No more crowds of admirers. It feels strange, but I hardly miss the inappropriate attention. Okay. Dang it. I wish... Oh, okay. Those lawful evil responses just... Ugh. I like them from a role-playing perspective, but I guess it makes sense. It's not like it's going to make her happy when we say stuff like that. That's just it. Talk about burning bridges. All right. Well, dang it. I think, boy, I don't know. Do we worry about Knock Knock or Jubilost? Where is... Here we go. I think I'm going to go ahead and head to the debates. We can take care of that fairly quickly. Sorry, Valerie. Kane just doesn't know how to talk to people appropriately. We're going to head up here to the Inconsequent debates. Maybe we'll could make a stop at Trade Guard. Okay, we stopped and rested at Trade Guard. We leveled up Jubilost and Linzi real quick, and we're ready to jump in here to the Inconsequent debates. A very pale gnome with dull, brittle hair is scribbling something busily on a small scroll, not looking up as you approach. Ah, here you are at last. Go read the rules quickly. They're posted a little further along. The other teams already arrived a while ago. The host said we'll start as soon as you show up and read the rules. Jubilost. Of course, I'm famous enough for my admirers to follow my every move, but still I'd like to know, how did you know we were coming? The gnome shrugs. The host said so. Well, are you going to keep wasting time? Read the rules and we'll start. Read the rules. Jubilost, fixing his glasses, Jubilost looks at the paper describing the rules. Well, let's see. I'll read out loud so that everyone can hear. Rules of the Inconsequent debates. Year to be added later. I see the authors didn't overstrain themselves. So the rules. Item 1, obey the host in everything. Item 2, come in triplets. Item 3, no fighting, no killing each other, even temporarily, even if you really want to, even if you apologize later. Item 4, the most important one, the participant must assume the shape of a giant frog. Jubilost looks puzzled. A frog? What does that have to do with anything? Are those the right rules for the competition? What irreversible wordmonger meant? What is this? Am I a frog? Examine the rules. Something is obviously wrong here. I doubt we're going to pass that check. No. Examination offers nothing. Just like anything else that involves the Fae, the rules scroll looks ordinary and suspicious at the same time. I don't know what to believe. Maybe it's supposed to be like this. So we're just going to leave it as it is? I have a better idea. Let Linzi buy us some time. I'll talk to the other participants. Linzi, don't worry about anything. I'll go run to the host and ask him a few questions for my book. It'll buy you some time. You start looking for whoever is responsible for this. Find the culprit. We've got a kobold over here. A little kobold raises his little snout at you. Greetings. Are you participating in the debates too? Yes, participate. I participate. Jubilost. Amazing. We'll be competing against the inarticulate kin of unforgettable Tartuk. The kobold looks at Jubilost with interest. Huge frog, you speak? Can me mount you? I feed you ants, clean you skin. I am Ryder. In the list of all the job offers I've ever received, that will honorably be placed in the I'm ready to cry section. Why do you have those gerboas there? The kobold lowers his head. Fae say need 3. I know 3. I need friends. Wanted go very much. Caught this jump mice. Now we are 3. Participate. It's like a spell was cast over my friend when he read the rules. Did anything like that happen to you? I don't read. Gnome help me. Read for me aloud, but then scream. I scared. So what do you want to ask the host if you win? Dragon. How become dragon? Alright, I'll go. See you. And Sir Alfrey. Greetings, I am Sir Alfrey, loyal follower of the tentacles of Iomide. Knight, noble, and crusader from Mendev. Tentacles. Oh yes, my knightly motto used to be courteous even in death, but I'm afraid it must now be changed to serving the tentacles of evil. In just a few phrases, he managed to pour more pomposity on us than I can manage in a week. Quite a talent. The tentacles of evil, and why is it that you want to change the motto, sir? You see, upon my arrival, I immediately went to read the tentacles of the event, but Guile already had me in its tentacles. The rules were charmed, and everyone who reads them must say tentacles every so often, which is happening to me just now, tentacles. If I can't get rid of this affliction, at least tentacles. I can make it into my motto. Did you try to talk to the hosts about this? I did, in the name of tentacles, but Fae think that cheating within the rules is tentacles, and perfectly appropriate. As a true knight, I must overcome these tentacles resolutely. Do you have any idea who could have done this to the rules? It was done by one of the participants who allowed their tentacles to guide their heart, including you and me and my tentacles. 4 teams of 3 arrived. I swear by my tentacles, my service to the most honest Iomide would never allow such tentacles, nor would I suspect you and your outstanding companions, noble tentacles all. Look for the villain among the other 2 teams. So you're a Mendevian crusader. Truly spoken. I hope you have heard about our glorious tentacles. Our order fights demons fearlessly, preventing their tentacles from spreading across the world. You don't often meet an Aasimar in these lands. Aasimars are not so uncommon in our tentacles. Celestials are known to aid Mendevian crusaders in our war against the demons. Sometimes this camaraderie sparks a tentacle. I mean personal attraction. But just the presence of a holy celestial nearby can sometimes cause the birth of an Aasimar child. See? Easy as tentacles. Are you participating in the debates? I most certainly am by my tentacles. I've come here to carry out the will of my tentacles and set a good example for my tentacles. And possibly to find a new way to fight tentacles. That is, demons. If I win, the Fae might answer all my tentacles. Before you leave, let me ask, and in the name of tentacles, don't consider it idle curiosity. What need brought you to the tentacles debates? Jubilost. That would be me. I asked for the Baron's help in this tentacles. In this endeavor, because winning will let us ask what made the tentacles. What caused the gnomes to leave the first world? For me, these tentacles are something more than mere scientific curiosity. Sir Alfrey, I'm amazed at how inquisitive the tentacles of your mind are, sir. I admit, it's the first tentacles that I've ever talked to such a learned frog. Tentacles. Forgive me my ignorance, but it never even crossed my feeble tentacle that there are educated ones among your race. For the love of Desna, I'm not a frog. Let it be known to you, sir, that you are speaking to Jubilost Narthropple, well-known publicist and researcher. This shape but the consequence of a silly prank. I am a gnome, and that is why I'm participating in the debates, to learn how my race received the affliction called the bleaching, and discover a way to fight it. In that case, I wish our worthy rivals good tentacles, in the name of truth, justice, and tentacles. Okay.
Without a doubt.
Nerd. Zottenroppel. The pale gnome reads aloud enthusiastically. And the young wizard desperately thrashed about in his fetters, but all in vain. The shoots of the plants held him tightly. The nymph, cruel and beautiful, sneered at him, and immediately... And immediately what? And immediately anything. The left frog is mocking the right one. Does this book ever end? I thought the wizard would die in the last chapter while he was running from the horde of unicorns through fields of giant flytraps. Oh, like you understand anything about literature, you stupid toad. The gnome looks at you. Hello again, travelers. It seems I haven't introduced myself. I'm Nerd Zottenroppel, and these 2 idiots are my brothers, Vyar and Luar. So what did the nymph immediately do to the wizard? It's too much to tell. She keeps him hostage for another 4 chapters. I like it when it's more like real life. In this author's last book, he escapes from the evil wizard in 5 minutes. Why are you calling those frogs your brothers? Haha. These fools read the rules, and the rules are charmed. Nerd's colorless and dim eyes flare up with a mad and joyful fire. Anyone who reads them turns into a frog. So now I have 2 frog brothers. I guess I'll leave them as they are. When else will I ever have a chance to laugh so much? And why are they both frogs? Did they read them together? Yes, Nerd responds quickly. Nah, the frog on the right says happily. Shut up, Luar. Of course we did. We read them and we transformed. Now we're sitting and croaking. The little kobold said one of you helped him read the rules. Yeah, that's true, but he wasn't trying to read the frog rules. They're different on every pole. One turns you into a frog, another makes you say tentacles, and the third one makes you scream like crazy. Hilarious, right? Not remotely, Jubilost. You look pale. She looks bleached. Jubilost's voice is grim. Nerd. It's alright, I've still got a fair bit of fight left in me. The Zottenroppels don't go down easy. Nerd smiles cunningly. My brothers and I lost our color long ago, but death still hasn't taken us. Are you participating in the debates? Sure, although really we're just here to see the show. We figured it would be fun, and we were right. You are confused, my friends. If one of you read the rules for the kobold, why isn't one of you screaming? How was it that both of your brothers were turned into frogs? And if Nerd already saw what happened and knew the rules were charmed, then why did she tell us to read them? Do you suspect us of something? Why would we charm the rules and read them ourselves? Or make you read them and put a spell on you? Nerd adjusts her ridiculous helm and strikes a rakish pose. Jubilost, because you're gnomes. Only a gnome could think of playing a joke on everyone around and then joyfully get caught in their own prank. You're far-sighted and loud-voiced. I like you. Answer clearly. Did you charm the rules? Why are you picking on us? Our sister is the one who did it. Enough snitching, Luar. You're just jealous that it was Nerd who came up with the idea. Why did you do it? You're so boring. We wanted to, so we did. Just think how funny it will be. Debates where all the participants are screaming or talking about tentacles or just croaking. Nerd roars with laughter. But we're honest players, so we charmed ourselves too. We wouldn't want an unfair advantage. Stop this immediately and release Jubilost from the spell. Croak. Croak, croak. We're just stupid frogs and we understand nothing. Nerd pretends not to hear anything. Jubilost. Kane, I know this is unexpected, but let's just leave it be. I'm ready to participate in the debates, even like this. Croaking all the way. We can try to intimidate. Let's not risk just ruining this whole thing. Kane's done enough of that. I say it's a fine prank. Let everyone stay as it is. Amazingly, Jubilost sighs with relief. Linzi, there you are. Glad I found you. I stalled for as long as I could, but now it's time to begin. Let's go, quickly. The host. The hooded creature looks mundane, but after looking for a time, one might notice the figure's contours tremble and flow as in a haze. Welcome to the Inconsequent debates. You can call us the host. We are the reason for all that happens here today. You've read the rules, have you not? Not that there is anything useful in them. We only made up the real rules the day after tomorrow, then forgot them and had to make new ones. So it's simple. You want, as your reward, for us to answer a question. So the competition will involve answering questions. We ask, and one in each triplet answers. And always the same one. The others can only prompt. Let's see. It will be you, little kobold. You, Sir Alfred. You, Nerd. And you, Kane. Remember one thing. Here at the Inconsequent debates, there are no right or wrong answers. Every answer has weight, and each will be weighed. Don't choose the lightest one. Your rival might find a heavier argument. And most importantly, light answers are no fun for us. Why are you referring to yourself in the plural, host? You hear laughter emerge from under the hood. You know very well you've met us, Kane, but it was a different us at a different time. For now, be satisfied that we do not wish to disclose ourselves. Tell us, why do you, creatures from the first world, need to organize all this? Win the competition and ask. Those are the rules of the game, right? Jubilost, hell no, we are not wasting a precious question to discover the motives of the Fae or their lords. I don't have the imagination to think how absurd and silly their answer might be. Okay, let's begin. Begins. The kobold jumps for joy. We are ready. The knight nods resolutely, despite the tentacles. And nerd, alright, let's see how tough they have it in the first world. Some of you look so serious, thus we'll begin with a question about weighty matters. What can move a mountain? Jubilost, Linzi, what's our answer? Linzi, oh, I shouldn't have skipped my philosophy lessons at the academy. Such problems baffle me. It's not because I can't think of an answer, but because I think of 1,000 of them at once, and don't know where I can hide from them. Jubilost, let's see. We are dealing with Fae in the first world, and they told us clearly that trivial answers won't cut it. I think the good answer is its own will. In the first world, mountains often change position, and there's at least one that does it of its own free will. That's Ulas, one of the Tain, the walking mountain. Okay, sounds good to me. Its own will. The host, we heard you. What will the others say? What can move a mountain? The little kobold frowns desperately. Maybe dragon? Dragon can move mountain? Sir Alfrey, faith and divine intervention. Do you hear, my faithful tentacles? Faith nourishes us. With devout faith in our tentacles and a righteous cause, everything is within our tentacles. And nerd, a teleportation spell. Haha, I could probably manage moving a hill or two. In fact, that gives me an idea. We have heard you, now hear us. Of course, gods and magic can move mountains, but that answer is good for any question. How can one jump over the house? Magic. How to paint a fence yellow using blue paint? Divine intervention. Such light answers are the weakest. A good answer is its own will. Will and desire lie at the base of all our motions, action, and decision. If a mountain has a will, it will surely find a way to move. That was an interesting round. Let the next question be heard. What weakens when owned by many and dies if owned by none? Jubilost? What? I'm sorry, I got distracted. Those mosquitoes are so delicious. The frog stops for a moment and then starts to curse. Demons take those mosquitoes. I'll go mad in this shape. So the answer, I think it's glory. It can't belong to many, otherwise the value of each is diminished. Okay. We go with his answer, I think. Glory. The little kobold looks as if he is about to cry. I don't know this. Maybe it's dragon? And Sir Alfrey, it's the knight's heart. I swear by my tentacles. It can belong to himself or to his righteous cause, or to his greatest tentacles. It can't belong to everybody. Fire, look how I can roll my eyes. Nerd. Fools, concentrate on the competition. This won't do. We won't accept the answer from Zottenrappel triplet. From the Zottenrappel triplet this round, but you are a spectacular eye roller. Now, as for the other answers, the heart is not the best answer. Even among knights, there are many whose hearts belong to beautiful women, and a beloved mother plus their friends, their commander, their righteous cause, and a delicious lunch, especially a delicious lunch. And it doesn't seem that those hearts that belong to many grow any weaker. They're not taking our answer. Glory is a poor answer. Only an extremely egoistic person who does not wish to share credit could think it shouldn't belong to many. One's own glory does not diminish anyone else's. We were almost prepared to agree on the dragon, but alas, no one gains victory in this round. Here the third question. Each of us is born at the same time with a monster. Each day we live, it grows. It can torment, bring us joy, or kill without a single wound. What is it? An evil twin brother from another timeline. What do you say, Jubilost? Considering that question is asked by a representative of the Fae, the answer could be anything, from singing to the love of pastries. But let's think logically. The last part of the riddle can easily be ignored, because just about anything in the world can aid or ruin you depending on the circumstances. What's important is that the riddle clearly points to some quality or property of a living creature, something that is born with us. Another point, it grows. I would say knowledge. Each new day brings something new, so our knowledge of ourselves and the world keeps growing. For some, though, this process is ridiculously slow. I still like the evil twin brother, but I guess we'll go with knowledge. We have heard you. What will the others say? What is the monster? The little kobold grabs his head, stressed. Maybe it's dragon? Nerd. It's curiosity. It's born with us. It grows day by day. It saves us from the bleaching. And if you only knew how many it's killed. Sir Alfred, I don't know if the answer will do, but the greatest tentacles is the one that lives inside us. We grow a tentacles beast in our soul. We feed it with wrath, neglect, and tentacles. Eventually, it could break free and kill us, but tentacles must admit. The same beast gives strength to villains and tentacles. The poison we feed our monsters only nourishes them. Interesting answers, except for the dragon. The dragon doesn't count, alas. Curiosity is also insufficient. The monster we described must, by its own nature, grow. Many see their curiosity dim over the years. We like the answers about knowledge and the inner beast, but both seem somewhat light. We expected something more substantial. We declare that both Sir Alfred and Cain, along with their triplets, shall share the victory for this round. But remember, a victory shared by two is half the victory. One final trial, and we will sum up the results. I grow tired of questions. Do you know the game Knight Dragon Snag? The knight defeats the dragon burns the snag, but if the knight walks in the woods, he will stumble on the snag and die. That's why the snag defeats the knight. Children's games, great. These are the inconsequent debates. Why not play a game? So you break up into pairs and yell out your chosen word at the signal. The one who shouts knight defeats the one who shouts dragon. The one who shouts dragon defeats the one who shouts snag, and snag defeats knight. We'll play Sir Alfred against the kobold, and Nerd Zottenroppel against the Baron. The winners will then play each other. Is the first pair ready? Yell on 3. 1, 2, 3. Knight. Dragon. This was all too predictable, but charming in a way. The host is obviously enjoying the game. It's a good thing we didn't look ahead. It's much more fun to see it unfold like this. Sir Alfred wins. Now for the second pair. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. What do we say here? Jubilost. I think we say dragon. Dragon. Nerd Zottenroppel. Oh, this isn't... Wait. Was it us against Nerd? I was thinking it was... Yeah, that's right. Nerd shouts, performing a spot-on impersonation of the kobold. I don't know why I was thinking it was us against Jubilost. We both shouted, Dragon? Nerd shouts, performing a spot-on impersonation of the kobold, then falls over laughing. Looks like her own amusement is more important to her than the competition. A tie. Let's go again on 3. 1, 2, 3. We keep saying dragon. Dragon. Nerd Zottenroppel. Snag. Ah, damn it. I meant to cheat, but didn't have time to think of how. Dragon won. 1, 1. The little kobold is as happy for you and your dragon as if it were his own victory. So the Baron wins. Now the winner against the winner. The Baron against the knight. 1, 2, 3. Well, he's going to say knight, isn't he? We got to say snag. Sir Alfred takes a deep breath with his mighty chest, but then the curse takes over. Tentacles. Realizing how their spell has worked, Nerd and her brothers start roaring with laughter, sometimes sniffling with delight. The host makes a helpless gesture. We cannot but pronounce the Baron the winner of this round. And now it's time. Time to announce the winner of the debates. After 4 tests, the triplet of the Baron and Sir Jubilost wins. It was most amusing, children. Most amusing. You should know that this is rare praise from us. Congratulations, sirs and ladies. I swear by my tentacles it was a worthy struggle. Baron, as the voice of your triplet, you may ask us the one question promised and another question besides that as an extra reward for the ingenuity or luck you demonstrated in the competition. Jubilost. Cain, do you remember the fate of the note? Jubilost suddenly stops talking. He opened and closes his mouth, but makes not a sound. Nerd, have a silence spell, mate. Haha, I love it. Now what's he going to do? Come, brothers, let's run. Now everything is in your hands, Cain. Think well upon your questions. We will answer honestly, but I don't know is also an honest answer. Ask about what a host from the first world might know. Any suggestions for a good pet name? Well, since we're here because of Jubilost, and we don't need to make him mad, I would like to know why the gnomes left the first world. There is the question. We knew it would be asked, but a simple answer, a light answer, has no value, right? We hope our debates convinced you of this. That is why we present to you another answer, a good one, a valuable one. Numbers will help you on your way. One of them is 5th and 10. It will be easy to find if you read who opened the road for the ancient dead man and his black-feathered messenger. The second is 12 times in a dozen and is thrice the number of those who lost their faces. Don't try to guess it now, it's not yet time. Wait until he who is born twice will twice be defeated. Put the two numbers together. When the moon leaves her path near the waters of the Candlemirror, find the one who will open the secret. Jubilost, a heap of senseless mumble instead of a first walk the road, then you may accuse us of being senseless, but in the end, you won't. Okay, then we get one more question. Okay, I want to know about this affliction, the bloom that fell on my barony. Oh, that's an easy one, or is it? Once a very powerful creature from the first world unwisely provoked the rage of those who are 100-fold mightier. She was cursed and sent here to Golarion, to the Stolen Lands. Without going into too much detail, her curse afflicts the locals as well. To put it simply, your troubles will not cease until you've dealt with this uninvited guest. Anyway, we have discussed this further in your tomorrow and my yesterday. That was your final question. We have the answer, and yet we don't. But what an adventure. Cain will have to discuss this further on our return to the capital. Farewell, Cain. Ah, we almost forgot. The host turns to the kobold. You little creature. You didn't win, but you managed to make us laugh. Do you want to come with us? No promises you'll turn into a dragon, but still. The kobold jumps for joy, but then carefully asks, pointing at his jerboas, take my friends? Yes? All right, fine. The hooded creature laughs. Listen all. The Inconsequent debates are now closed. We spare all of you the effects of the Zottenroppel tricks and bid you farewell. That's it. Jubilost is back to normal. We won the debates. We actually succeeded with a companion quest. I think we've been on a roll of failure with those. I guess we did all right with Ragongar and Octavia. We are done here then, I believe. Okay. That's the debates. We'll head back home, see if Jubilost has anything else to say about that. And then, I don't know, we have more companion quests to deal with. We should maybe... Knock Knock was whining about his, so we should maybe take care of that. And then we're going to need to... take care of our coronation, and we need to find the tomb. We have a project going to search for clues about that. And there's the whole situation with Tristan. We probably need to head to Candlemirror Lake and look into that. And lots of other stuff I would like to do as well. And plenty of locations on the map that we haven't explored. So plenty to do. All while we try to keep our kingdom from collapsing again. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope to find you back here with me in the Stolen Lands. Bye-bye.